My fellow Americans, tonight I want to speak to you about what the United States will do with our friends and allies to degrade and ultimately destroy the terrorist group known as ISIL. As Commander-in-Chief, my highest priority is the security of the American people. Over the last several years, we have consistently taken the fight to terrorists who threaten our country. We took out Osama bin Laden and much of al-Qaeda's leadership in Afghanistan and Pakistan.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
When the dust settled, the Japanese attack claimed the lives of 2,409 Americans and left another 1,200 wounded.
No matter how long it may take us to overcome this premeditated invasion, the American people in their righteous might will win through to absolute victory.
The attacks on Pearl Harbor ignited a fierce national pride that caused many Americans to want to serve their country. San Diego and Montford Point all saw large numbers of recruits come to defend their nation as Marines.
The devastating toll of these incidents was eclipsed only by the awe-inspiring stories of heroism that emerged from those days, when our nation responded to tragedy with indomitable spirit, unconditional compassion, fierce national pride, and unshakable resolve.
On December the 7th, 1941, Marines and sailors not only showed that they were well trained, they embodied the courage and indomitable spirit for which America is known.
Storming beaches, prevailing against insurmountable odds, the Marines of World War II showed the world the meaning of uncommon valor.
Terrorists are unique in their brutality. They execute captured prisoners. They kill children. They enslave, rape, and force women into marriage. They threatened a religious minority with genocide. And in acts of barbarism, they took the lives of two American journalists, Jim Foley and Stephen Sotloff. So ISIL poses a threat to the people of Iraq and Syria and the broader Middle East, including American citizens, personnel, and facilities. If left unchecked, these terrorists could pose a growing threat beyond that region, including to the United States. While we have not yet detected specific plotting against our homeland, ISIL leaders have threatened America and our allies. Our intelligence community believes that thousands of foreigners, including Europeans and some Americans, have joined them in Syria and Iraq. Trained and battle-hardened, these fighters could try to return to their home countries and carry out deadly attacks.
And he said, Lieutenant, you know, if this was stateside, half your men would be over the hill, but the other half will follow you to hell. And I said, well, everybody's going to follow me to hell.
The constants of the cold. I mean, it was always with you. You never got warm.
Not only cold, but it was scary. Scary cold when you can't see anything through the snow, but you know they're there.
I could tell that something was going to happen. I just had a feeling.
The 27th of November is when they first hit. They had like 100 and some thousand Chinese came in to wipe out the 1st Marine Division.
Chinese attacked us, came across the field. Infantry units attacked us with small arms.
We're overrun every day and every night, but we held them back.
The guys were coming off the hill and there were bodies all over the place and the snow was blood red and it was freezing cold. It was so cold.
I would say that the cold was a blessing to me because I was wounded in so many different places. I would have bled to death had it not been for the cold coagulating the blood.
My impression about the Marines, I mean, they did a darn good job. You know, we came out of there 70-some miles walking and bringing our equipment and majority of our dead and wounded.
History shows that That phrase out of the Marine Corps hymn, any climb, any place, is true. We did what had to be done. We learned fast, and we were effective.
Supported by Marine Air, the 1st Marine Division fought their way from the chosen reservoir some 78 miles south to the port of Hungnam.
Had it not been for air support, we would not have gotten out of there.
You always tell the single men from the married men because of how high they came in.
Of the nearly 15,000 Marines involved in the battle, over 4,400 were killed or wounded. The Chinese and North Korean forces suffered losses of over 37,000 men.
I did my duty. I protected my fellow Marines. They protected me. And I'm prouder of that than the fact that the government decided to give me the Medal of Honor.
The Chinese had the mission to annihilate the division, and they did not accomplish that. I can remember seeing artillery pieces with dead bodies wired on the barrel of the gun, like washed, taking them out of there to make sure that they got a decent burial. And it just really impressed me.
The Marines at the reservoir were Marines like in the Second World War. They were Marines like they were in the First World War. They were truly superb. This year we mark 10 years of continuous combat operations in which the United States has relentlessly taken the fight to the enemy.
We're going to be here for the people, no matter what it takes.
We want to build relations with the locals. It's obviously the key to winning the sport.
The fighting in the area is getting better, and they only shoot a couple bursts and then they leave because they know we're going to kill them.
I didn't know how past generations of Marines would view our generation until I got off the plane in Bangor, Maine. And it was the receiving line of all your World War II vets and Vietnam vets, but they're clapping for us and calling us heroes. We're not heroes, we're just today's Marines.
As Marines, we will not stand down until the mission is complete and our nation is once again secure.
The indomitable spirit comes not only from the proud tradition of our nation, but from the confidence that our military forces will ensure no act of aggression against the United States goes unanswered.
Sergeant Major Barrett and I stand shoulder to shoulder with each of you. Thank you for your strength, your understanding, and your support as we carry out the mission of the Corps. Happy 236th birthday, Marines, and Semper Fidelis.